But hopefully somebody shows up so that we can actually test it. But we might not have anybody today.
Why is that?
Well, it's a particularly hot day.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The hotter it is, the more you want to turn off your computer
Yeah.
or your TV.
So let's see. Interesting. I was hoping that this new thing I found in OBS would actually kind of imitate what.
Oh, the chat where you can do things and like pull out
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. Like all it is actually is, and I honestly don't know if this is better or worse, but you know how I pop out the chat window on here so that I can type in there and read it? They just give you a way to do that within OBS.
I mean, I guess that's one less thing you've got to set up if you don't have to pop it out.
I guess it's literally just the same browser window with the same functionality, and that was why we had to sign in. So, I don't know. And I don't think that we can pin the window. Output timer, automatic scene switch. There's a lot of stuff in here. What do you think teleport is? Teleport, Jesse. We can teleport.
I feel like that means it can switch to a different input, like so your OBS is teleporting. It'd be it'd be better if like we could teleport.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Always on top. Oh, no, I don't want
almost
that.
made a joke, but
I don't want that. Anyway, welcome to those of you who have come to join us on this very special day. It is a very hot day in March, and so Jesse, since you're kind of a new Californian, I should catch you up on the lingo. So like with June, where it gets like kind of foggy. Yeah, you have the June gloom. In March, when it's only when it's particularly hot, we have a name for it. We call it
the March Farch.
Hotterch.
Hotterch. No, I don't like that.
As
Sorry.
in, use it in a sentence. This is some lovely Hotterch weather we're having.
No.
Wow, is it close to freezing in Baltimore? It's wild. Yeah, we actually, another dubious low light and indicative of where the planet is heading. We here in California have set a record all-time high temperature ever recorded in March. Here in California yesterday, 108. But that same area of California is on Friday projected to hit 110, so we'll see if they beat their own record. Ugly stuff. Anyway.
So much no.
Yeah. And Jonathan of Baltimore fame says that's 42 degrees Celsius for the non-Fahrenheit users that are watching. So pretty up there, but especially for March.
It also means you may hear our air conditioner running in the background because of all this hotterch weather that we're having.
That's some good California pronunciation there.
Goodness.
Oh, goodness. A big hello and welcome to Madeline James World Builds. I don't know why we use her middle name. Should just say Madeline World Builds. Little smile.
Anyway.
Who, of course, streams with Jake every Monday for the time being at 1 p.m. Pacific. Be back to 12 Pacific next week. Englanders, are you switching your clocks this weekend? So is this the last week of the hour off? You all right?
Yeah, my skin just hurts. Sorry, my brain is just like back and forth and
One more.
seeing things as people are, as you and people are talking about weather.
Yeah.
I don't super get like the drive to create a temperature blanket where it's, you're documenting the temperature from every day of the year. Like I fully understand documenting something personal
I like where this is going.
for every day of the year. But it is really interesting for apparently some people do this like regularly. And so they're able to show climate change in their annual blankets if you hold them up side by side.
Yeah.
And like there are people who've been going for like 25 years. What they do with 25 blankets? I don't know, but like
Imagine knowing 25 people.
I, with a blanket that lets you know what temperature it was every day of the year. But anyway, it is really interesting when they hang them up side by side and you see it. So I feel like that's one of the most interesting outcomes of said projects.
I have an interesting idea for a blanket. For an entire year of Stardew Valley, you see what your luck is for the day, and you assign each luck a different color.
That is something. And it would be a much shorter blanket.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
It would be,
28 times 4, right?
yeah, so much smaller, either skinnier or shorter, or
Just use thicker yarn.
you could use thicker yarn, or you could also just make a scarf instead of a blanket. But anyway,
Stardew temperature scarf. Stardew luck scarf.
yeah, not a temperature, a luck.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, so, but then what would, so then, okay, yeah, I suppose you could play one day a day. All right. Are you jealous though? Like in Baltimore, it's like it's in the low 50s.
It is much better than here. But I also know, like, I sure hope everyone in the middle part of the country stayed safe in the last week because, like, last Sunday, 4 days ago, I was talking to my dad, and that morning, like, he woke up and it was 60 degrees, did some work outside, did some stuff. By the time I talked to him that night, it was down to 16 degrees. They were under a tornado warning, and it was snowing. Like, that was Sunday in Missouri. So anyway, I hope everyone was safe all across the country.
It's very interesting hearing about the weather in other parts of the U.S. because, as I think I said to Jesse once, here in California, we really do have Stardew weather, which is that you wake up and you see what the weather is for the day, and that's the weather for the day. You may get different weather the next day, but it doesn't change throughout the course of the day, really. It just is what it is, and it kind of stays that way, and that's nice. I like that. Nice and predictable.
So we did something.
Yep. All right, so let's...
This is going to affect our cases, right? Like, we did a poll about something that's going to affect something.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That means David's not happy with the outcome.
All right, so here's our poll. We had two options, and it was going to be the source of the habitual. we're introducing the possibility of an older version of its surfacing that falls in line with a couple of our other inflections. Let me move that over. And I don't remember what the ramifications were. So, one was to do noun inflection to verb inflection. This is a very, very good idea, very solid idea.
Well, so it lost, huh?
The idea, just like in English, where we have the expression, a goin' and things like that, we're a runnin' and so on, which came from a nominal expression. It started out as a concrete nominal expression and then became a metaphorical or figurative verbal expression, which makes a lot of sense because in general things in language go from concrete to abstract. Anyway, we said that was the origin.
Came from on, right? We're on fishing, we're on going.
I believe so. Yep.
We're on this doing.
Yeah. And so we would say the hang started off as locative, and locative was generalized to habitual. And so there was concrete to abstract. And so this, we would get, fly, regularly flies, toss, regularly tosses, and so on. And a very predictable form. Prose, completely regular inflection that doesn't affect the verb root. Easy to learn, easy to use. It contrasts with other inflections. It makes sense that the habitual would have occurred later. Because, of course, habitual is also not really the first thing that you add to a verbal system. Kind of the last thing. The cons is that it was potentially less morphophonologically interesting, and there would be more high tone, which we have a lot of. Option B was that it was an independent verbal inflection. And so we have hang, which gets added as a prefix, like other verbal prefixes. And then we added, and there were some times where it came out as uo, remember, because of the lengthening thing? And so we just have to have a little separate sound change, not like a language-wide sound change, just a morphological fix-it lenition that changes uo to o. And then we have a prefix that shows up sometimes as do. Sometimes, I guess in very rare circumstances, it would show up as dun, D-U-N. Most of the time it shows up as do or don, and all of them have low tone. In addition, a few times a tone change would be affected in the verb root, which is kind of interesting. Most of these I had to make up forms to show because we didn't have ready-made verbs for it. One of them we did. So that was a verb chim, which means to boop. If we go this route and then put it in the habitual, it becomes, I guess it's a good thing we closed it anyway. The landscapers are back right on
That's
time.
not landscaping, that's a saw.
Oh, it's a saw, the old bone saw. Okay. And then the habitual would be donlim. Sorry, donlim. No, that's high. Donlim, like that. I'll get it eventually. And that
Some
would be
very sad booping.
I know, that would be boops regularly, donlim. And this always throws me for a loop because, of course, KH is ch and X is the click. It's not ch. There's just a regular relationship between the two because when the N from the do prefix comes in front of the ch, it results in a anyway, so what you'll see is that the high tone of chim became low tone in chim. And then there are a couple of other ones that we created where you can see something similar. So we didn't have a lot of verbs that had no codas, but I imagine we'll have a couple. I'm sorry, no codas and we're monosyllabic. So, for example, if we had a verb like ti, high tone, long vowel. In the habitual, it would become donlie, donlie. Low tone and click, and you have the long E becoming EA. A couple of others of note. Suona, again, no meaning. Dongluona, I'm sorry, Dongluona. And Tiadin, Dongliadin. And so what you see is high tones or falling tones becoming low tones. And that's not so bad, huh? Like, you know, get some more low tones in there. So the pros also, we get bonus clicks. So there would be clicks that would be somewhat regular in the paradigm, in the verbal paradigm where we didn't have them before. Because when it came from nominal inflection, that N wouldn't hang around. It had already regularized by that point. And so the prefix would either be do or dun, and that's it. And the N would only show up before a vowel. So this way, with the N sticking around, you get some bonus clicks. Definitely more low tone. Also, even though it's the same source, we get different reflexes in the modern language for different parts of the morphological paradigm, which is interesting. Cons is that it's going to be difficult to learn. This is definitely going to be something that we need to list in the dictionary. The lenitions are a bit irregular, which is true. I just felt it would get too long with the uo. You might think, well, that's not so bad, but remember that these forms are what the perfective is based on. So this form has to happen first. The perfective is land plus this plus that. And the whole reason that this is the perfective is that it was locative. It lands on this.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of doesn't make sense anymore. Shoot.
Did we just bescrumble our own poll?
Well, the results were essentially 2-3 in favor of option B, so yeah, it's been bescrumbled. Dang.
Okay, we're gonna make this work.
Well, it's I mean, I don't want to eat another onion, so let's figure this out. Okay, so I want to at least take you through what I just realized, because I didn't realize this before. If I'd realized it, this wouldn't have been the poll. That was my mistake. Where are our inflections? Okay, here we go. All right. So the idea was, right, you have this stage where there's just some verb and that's it, right? Then we begin the era of serial constructions. And so we have the basic form of the verb, and then I think actually the first one that gets added is going to be the flap one, I think. And so that
this one is older.
Yeah, because that basically gives us our first inflection to flap. In other words, to flap, to do something, right? And then you have the flying happens or happened versus the flying will happen. In other words, it hasn't happened yet, or it's not happening right now. You're going to flap to do it, right? That becomes the first inflection, and it essentially begets or calls for or eventuates other inflections. The next in line was, I believe, the imperfective, right? Because it flaps to do something, and then you swoop while doing something. So these forms already existed, the participles already existed, and so you swoop doing this versus you flap to do something, right? Next would have been the habitual. Because it distinguishes itself from the imperfective, right? And here we still have the bare form that's kind of serving as the perfective, and essentially as it becomes, you know, as it becomes a bit confusing with the infinitive versus the nominalized form versus the perfective, a new perfective was created from the habitual with the understanding that it came from the locative. So the locative showed up the way I said, and then with the perfective, with land, you land on something. So lands on flying means flew or has flown, versus is at or on flying, they're doing it.
Not they're doing it, it's that it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan did ask if they eat an onion. Could that change?
Jonathan, did you vote for A, just out of curiosity? Tornado watch warning in Maryland. Maryland, you're next to the ocean.
Okay.
Jonathan did vote for A.
If, though,
Yeah.
because it's not just habitual, it's also stative. So it creates this verb-like form that is kind of statively understood. Like this one hangs, it's not happening now, but like it happens regularly.
Okay.
Perfective now, you land that state. You take this thing that happens regularly and you land it.
And you put it in a little crystal ball and it's all done.
Yeah. And so instead of saying a location in this route, you'd be saying, I'm landing the state of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't remember the exact species either. Magpie. Is it in the doc channel on our Discord somewhere?
I think so. I think people
Little
had
brown
looked
bat
up
sound.
the
Little brown
common-
bat sounds right. Oh, you can't see him. Look at this little guy. Furry little happy boy. Kind of looks like, his face there kind of looks like, whatchamacallit. Anyway, as you can see, or can you see the map? Hold on. No, let me pull it over. As you can see by this map here, this bat is very common in our area, and by our I mean the Sovala land area, which is right here, you know? And so that seemed kind of like the most likely bat. There are other bats. Look at this little guy. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, there's a charmer. Ferocious old boy. Anyway, yeah, that seemed the most likely bat. I think there was, oh my god, a bat mite. How terrible. But that could actually be, I could could actually be an enemy of theirs, why the bats come for help. I'm going to take a note of that. Bat mites, enemies of bats. This, by the way, would be for expansion 2. Anyway.
Okay, I added a note then to the perfective to indicate this current state of affairs.
Let's take a look. Oh, I should move this over slightly. Okay. Hmm. Is it where the
Yeah.
Okay. Treating ndun as older than the nominal locative means shifting the interpretation of how the perfective is formed. The marked verb form is not interpreted as where an action is landing. Rather, it is the state of affairs being landed. I land this state of flying and call it a day. Very good. Lovely. Mm-hmm. And so we need to change this.
And I know you seem disappointed that this option won, but isn't this the option that gives you the things you were actually looking for when we went over? I felt like last week you were like really kind of disappointed in how the verbs were coming together.
In some ways, yes.
In other ways, no.
In other ways, no. It was really all phonology, I guess. Because
isn't it all just phonology?
Some would have us think so.
Oh, that was your foot. I'm sorry.
You like it?
I do like your foot.
I got another where that came from.
I think I found that one too.
I wasn't liking the sound of things, the way they were coming together, but in terms of the actual like semantics behind it, the grammaticalization behind it, I did. I was a big fan of it. But yeah, I was concerned with the Wokuthiji problem, which is that is just an overabundance of high tone. Like there were a couple of things that we did in Wokuthiji to combat that. Remember, there were like for every coda that, like when we looked at tonogenesis, for every coda that kind of said, well, sometimes it gives high, sometimes it gives low, we went low all the way because we were just getting high tone everywhere. And this was also the case.
Jonathan's right.
Yeah. So there, by the way, there's a little discussion here about bats standing upright and having problems doing so. A thought had occurred to me. It would depend. You'd need to really overpower the bats to make this the case. But it could be a thing where it's like your bats must, if you're the bats, they have to hang from something. And so they can't even get out of the forest unless there is a perch for them, and then they have to build perches that they hang from. It would.
So you mean overpower as in they would die easily because they would never go anywhere?
No. I mean if they're going to be hamstrung in that way, that the bats can't even land freely unless there's a perch. Even if they want to attack something that's 2 squares away, they can't go up to it because there's no perch there. You'd need to make them really powerful to compensate for that incredible handicap. So I probably can't do it, but yeah, I think as George says, may just be a case where we just say the magic of the blood water is what gets us walking bats. Oh, right, and of course bats can't walk on all fours, kind of. But it isn't the walking that's the issue, because they can just fly. So the walking isn't the issue. It's the standing. It's when they're not moving, right? Incidentally, George's Tongues and Runes is every Saturday at 6 a.m. Pacific. And of course, Jake and Miles, Let's Have a Booba, going to be at 1:30 Pacific. Did you not change times?
I feel like that
That
one
one didn't change.
stayed with our time change,
Yeah.
while the one with Madeline went with Jake's time
Yeah.
non-change yet. But luckily, it's all going to be resolved in
Very soon.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
I think. Europe, don't you?
Next week is the last week, apparently.
Okay,
apparently.
okay. Week and a half. So yeah, very soon. None of that will matter, and it'll all be back to normal, and we can just announce what time people are on,
Yeah.
rather than trying to remember when which thing is.
Ooh. Sandwich shop called Wenwich. You can order sandwiches, but you go in and order, right? And they make it at some time, and you won't know. But if you go in and show like a voucher that you've purchased a sandwich, then you might be able to purchase somebody else's sandwich that they ordered at a much earlier time, and then get whatever you want. Or sorry, not get whatever you want. You get whatever you get. Yeah.
You just made me think about food and made me realize we don't super have plans for dinner tonight. But I think it's just the two of us tonight.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, we could just go get boba and chicken.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Oh, or we could go to the other boba place that has like not just the chicken,
Chocolate.
but the
Yeah.
the thingies.
It's also next to Mad Dumplings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what
There-
we're doing for dinner.
Yeah. We have other options as well, because there are many new things that
That's
have come
true.
to light.
That's true.
All right,
okay,
all right,
go
all
on,
right.
go on. I'm sorry. That's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Right, Jake? And it's like a treat.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very exciting.
Okay. And so, the first thing that we need to do is put raw in there. Right.
You're
Okay.
making California Pizza Kitchen white pizza? Ooh.
Right. And then but the end doesn't stick around. The end is never there unless it's a vowel. And it's never there unless it's a vowel. So that's what that becomes.
Oh, I should join you. There you are.
Guidola. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm glad that you suddenly feel a little bit happier. Because I felt all the disappointment when you started reading the poll results.
Yeah. No, I was pretty disappointed. All right.
Is the acute accent bigger than the grave accent? Or is it just this one word where bold italics acute over A and grave over E makes it look like the one over the E is so much tinier? Or is it just an optical illusion? Are they actually the same height?
It is an optical illusion, but also there shouldn't even be one there, because we don't mark.
I know. But still, what an interesting little... The one over the A, I swear, looks even bigger than the one over the U.
There's one,
something about the A that makes it look heftier.
There's only one way to settle this. You ready?
Or make it huge. Oh my god. Okay. I'm doing the very scientific method of holding my fingers apart. Oh wait, I can use like... Okay, it goes to there. And it goes...
God, I love Palatino.
There.
What an elegant font.
I feel that they are actually the same. What makes them look different to me? Maybe it's because the edge of the A with that kind of flat edge creates a solid line visually, and it just feels longer. Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Could
I-
also be because the grave accent carries with it the haunting call of the grave.
Wouldn't that make it feel bigger?
Hmm. I suppose it depends on your perspective.
Okay. Ah. Okay, Kobe, I like that too. It's kind of just the way italics works. It can feel less weighted when it's going that way.
You know, I I feel like italics are the way they are. Somebody correct me, just because most people are right-handed. What if they went the other way?
Oh, I hope that moment lives with me for a very long time because that was incredible. Thank you for charading the italics.
You're welcome. Love ya.
I love you too. Okay, so as soon as you fix this, I am so ready to celebrate. Let's celebrate this. We've got different tones, we've made it make sense, and we've got some variability. And yeah. Ooh, bye, Danielle.
Oh, Danielle.
Oh, Kobe says that maybe old italic hands did go the other way. Oh, fascinating.
Well, by the way, this will be my second Kopiko of the week because after I mentioned it the last time, my barber stocked Kopiko.
You didn't tell me that.
You wouldn't have liked it. It was cappuccino.
It's like you had a secret Kopiko.
Cheers. That's right.
Cheers.
Not only that, I told Meridian about it, not you.
Well, Meridian was there,
She was.
so that...
I didn't
that-
offer her one.
Well, no, because
Yeah.
they do have some caffeine in them.
They do.
And I feel that's the last thing she needs.
Not as much as our big uns. Do we still have some of those?
Yes, I've been... You know what?
You're treating them precious, aren't you?
I
Because
am.
because there aren't more.
I am, because that's all we have. I should order more. Why am I holding back? Why don't I just order more? Because I really like them.
Kopiko. Order more Kopiko because you really like them. The old apply directly to the head form of advertisement. What? Seriously? You didn't know I had a tattoo? I have, in fact,
Two.
tattoo. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this is for my cat. That's for Kitty, and then this is Jessie. And hi, Valerian.
Okay.
Flightless bats. Flightless bats we don't know of. The kiwis of the bat world. Actually, where's Biblaridian? If there's anybody in the entire world who would be able to tell us something definitive about flightless bats, it's Biblaridian. Jake, you're never going to find someone that way.
So, Ton, is your wife getting another tattoo or having the one removed?
Yeah, I commented quite a bit that there are people with 0 tattoos and people with 2 or more, but very, very, very few with 1. And most people with 1 just haven't gotten their second yet. For a while, I was going to be the one and only, but
Mm-hmm. And then David was like, I want another. And I was like, really?
the lure.
I am a person who has 3.
Yeah. Here's Biblaridian. I am once again obligated to shout out the awesomely named New Zealand burrowing bat, Vulcanops jennyworthiae. Did I pronounce that right? Jennyworthiae? Okay. Vulcanops jennyworthiae is an extinct species of bat that lived during the Miocene in New Zealand. A large burrowing microchiropteran that probably ate arthropods and plant material around 20 million years before present. It is the type and only described species of the genus Vulcanops. The eponym for the specific epithet, jennyworthiae, is Jennifer P. Worthy, in recognition of her pivotal role in revealing the diversity of the St. Bathans fauna. Jennifer Worthy is the scientist who discovered the fossil. What about the yay? I didn't say anything about the yay.
All right. Maybe it's just a scientific ending. They needed it to sound more scientific, so it was just like the plural form of worthy.
It's not worth yay. Oh my God, Jenny Worthy Eye. Vulcanops Jenny Worthy Eye. The Y was a part of the name. It's not Jenny Worth, it's Jenny Worthy Eye. Oh my gosh. Oh, that does make it look more Latin and less Korean. Wow.
I am fascinated by all this discussion of dates. I think I only can recognize a mejdul, and I don't know if I've ever had an ajwa or a sukari. I don't know.
That is indeed the appropriate term. I have a Jenny worth of flightless bats. Okay.
Ooh, nice. I look forward to it, Jake. Are we ready to think about something else? Like, where do we go from here, David? Do we want to write a little sentence? Can we? Didn't we? Yeah, we have cases.
Yeah, we could. But unfortunately, the responsible thing to do would be to list how you get the varying realizations of this prefix.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is kind of a weird section because, like, the way we're writing it is we're kind of shooting from the hip as opposed to formatting it nicely. But we're also kind of writing it.
And we're giving the background information that nobody else wants to read, but we're going to want there someday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that Copico. Just delicious.
I may treat myself to a strong one later. I also have the little espresso beans that I feel like you haven't been eating as much. I've been working my way through that box.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't.
I mean, I'm not complaining because I love them and I will eat them all.
Mm-hmm.
In case anyone is wondering there. Trader Joe's chocolate covered espresso beans, dark chocolate. And
There's quite the fetching owl at our local Trader Joe's. Okay. The prefixes, prefix surfaces in a number of ways. The N shows up only before verb, vowel
initial, yeah.
vowel initial verb roots. And also, I think, well, don't be, yes. So it's a verb vowel initial or H initial verb roots. And let me double check. Oh, wait, I needed that. Or glottal initial verb roots. So also if the root begins with a glottal stop, then it replaces the glottal. So note that the N replaces the glottal H and there. Okay. The vowel quality will change depending on the size of the root. And then the prefix will affect a number of changes in the verb root itself, depending on the size and composition of the root. A summary of these changes is provided below. Okay, now we can start naming some of these things.
What do you mean by naming? Do you mean like putting it together with different forms and seeing what gets us where?
Yeah. So the which my for example, this word tea. Let me make sure I've got it right. Yes. Okay. So this is going to be a big old thing.
And is it another thing that you could just write without specifying it, is that the N, while it doesn't show up in, forms before consonants, it does do the nasal effects like the clicks?
And the prefix will affect a number of change in the verb root itself. Largely due to the mischief of the final nasal of the prefix.
Okay. Because that makes it clear then that
Be
it's
present or no. Okay.
And then did you just want like some
Summary of these changes is provided
verbs?
below. Okay, so, okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think if they should have titles or we just do it.
Well, part of it, I think, is just figuring out where the shifts occur because then you know how to group them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess we know where the in occurs, so where do the do and the do occur?
Yeah.
Like have oo alternation, and then second bullet point is the o alternation.
Yeah, it has to do with stress. So I'm paralyzed because I can't even think of the proper format for this. Let's go. You know what? You know what?
I'm so excited to find out what.
I'm going to put a saucy table in here.
Oh, I do love a saucy table.
And, oh, apparently. Just a minute. Table. You got rid of him. My precious table.
You had forgotten to put that up top?
I got rid of it.
Why? Why, David? We love tables. Why?
Too many memories.
I'm disappointed.
Okay. We're gonna do protoform. Infinitive habitual. Meaning. All right. Okay. What can this very tiny verb mean? Sending my sister a message. Nobody say anything.
Jump. Squeak. Do they squeak? Do bats squeak? Yeah, they make noises
Sure
that are
they do.
squeak-like. Just to move, like general, like woo. There goes my arm. I moved it. Kobe says to kiss.
I'm gonna go with to squeak because I think it's very cute. Yeah. All right. So there you see it's got the U. And there's also a tone change, and then there's also a shift in the initial consonant. And I don't know if there's any other way to get that U in there, which makes it very ripe for removal or reanalysis, because basically I only think you can get it with CV. But on the other hand,
We should have a lot of those, right?
a verb that's just CV.
Oh, little verbs that are basic. Ones that get used a lot.
Yes, maybe not a lot, but maybe a few.
I mean, like frequently, like the frequent verbs.
Yeah. Because I think stress can only be on the final two syllables. Is that right? Rightmost syllable unless the final syllable is lighter than the penultimate, in which case primary stress is assigned to the heavier penultimate syllable. And the only way that you get ooh is if the syllable has stress. So it has to be when stress is assigned to the penultimate syllable, and the penultimate syllable is the prefix. That's the only way you can possibly get this. And
Because we're doing where it comes out as dual, it would come out as do. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, even if you put a glottal stop in there, and remember the glottal stop at the end of a word doesn't survive, you still get the O form. I realize I'm looking at Lexergy, but it's just not very interesting. I want a sec. By the way, I want to. Oh, by the way, is there any way that you can adjust your camera?
I'm sorry, I'm having very bad posture. If I would not, I was fine for the start of the stream, and then I started melting into my chair. It's also very difficult. It's even more difficult to get the DUN form. Like DUN is only if it's a glottal stop followed by a vowel and nothing else.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's the only time you're going to get DUN.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise, be hard to imagine a verb that's just a vowel. And there would only be three. A, I, U. That's it. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and come up with a verb that's like ha. What do you think? What could that mean?
To breathe.
Why not?
We don't have to. We can make it something like.
No, it's already done. It's
go.
already done. Everybody sees.
Mm,
Just
It'd be like note. All other forms are do. Just across the board.
there's this entire subgenre of music that is people who have been othered in some way speak in gibberish, and the gibberish is the chorus. There's a whole slew of songs like that.
I took a breath at the wrong time, and this
Yeah.
is very, very gingery.
That's ha.
Yeah, I took a ha at the wrong time. And so that, like, the ginger spice, like, shot up my nasal cavity. Mmm. Goodness. Mm.
All right. be remembered
Made
as
my
well.
eyes water and everything.
Okay. So far we've seen clickification, we've seen ooh, we've seen glottal disappearance, and we've seen not stress shift, tone change. So let's move on.
I'm gonna not breathe at the wrong time. I'm gonna ha at the right time.
Can't wait. Watching.
Because I'm trying to get all I can out of it, so I breathed in a little too much last time. And I don't want any of the essence to miss me.
Okay, so that's regular, and we've seen the glottal deletion. You know what we could. We could change. We could move the protoform over here, change this column to process scene, and write some of those things in there. But I'm lazy. All right, next to fly.
Do you want me to show you what that table could look like if you did that?
Sure.
Here, I'm just going to do one short one because all we would have to do is, change this. Oh my God. Do I not have all of my options?
This is 10
Okay.
point?
What do you think about that list?
Oh.
I'll get out of there so you can.
I don't like it, but
You don't like it? What would you like to change about it?
so many things.
Okay.
But
Well, if you would list some things, I could do them. Like, if you don't like the list format, so there's not numbers, I can take that away. If you don't like the wording, I can take it away.
I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna see if this schmecks you gern. Should that be schmecks?
No.
No? Just schmecks? Okay. Okay. What do you think?
I think if that's what makes you happy, then we should move forward with it.
Let's strike a compromise. Something that makes you happy too.
It can be difficult when I look at a table and see that it's 3 entries. when it's just all in a list, and it's also difficult when everything's in caps, because then nothing's in caps. And so,
How's that?
there you go.
All right.
It wouldn't let me add bullets. I don't know why.
Glottal loss. Tone shift. Prefixal U. Okay. No. This is going to be. Lateralization.
And we don't need to mark prefixal O, because that's going to be the standard feature that you expect across the board.
Yes.
Okay. Do we need then the glottal loss? Do we need to specify that glottal loss pairs with the emergence of the N? No, because before it says the N replaces the glottal. So like I feel like that's wrapped together.
Okay. Interesting, Patrick. You say that you thought that that chorus was from a song by Alvin and the Chipmunks. Why specifically? And I need you to search your memory and tell me truly, why specifically did you think that song was by Alvin and the Chipmunks?
If Patrick's answer is the same as mine, it's because that's when I first heard it.
How did you hear it?
It was on a tape, a cassette tape
Which
of Alvin
tape?
and the Chipmunks songs.
Really?
Yeah.
That interests me. On the radio.
I know I had 2 cassettes of Alvin and the Chipmunks. One of them was Christmas. It was all Christmas music.
I had a cassette tape as well. Una cinta, to teach you something. That's how you would say it in Spanish. But it was a very specific cassette tape. It was not a cassette tape that you simply put into a tape player and play.
I know where you're going with this.
That's
okay.
right. I had a very specific toy. I think this would have been purchased for me in 1984. And this toy had these spiral bound books and special tapes that would go with it. And as the tapes would tell you a story and then give you a choice. These were choose your own adventures. And there were 4 buttons, red, blue, and yellow, and green. And then the story would say, if you want to do this, then press this button. If you want to do this, press this button. When you press the button, it changed the tape and went to the specific part that was in that story. And then just went back to whatever. One of the little booklets I had that went with this toy was Alvin and the Chipmunks. And in that story, one of the songs that was used was Witch Doctor. They didn't play the whole thing; they played some of it. Another one, and this is where this is where I was exposed to that song. It was also where I was exposed for the first time to Age of Aquarius. Fell in love with it. Anyway, what was the name of this toy?
I don't know, but we found it one time.
We did. 1980s toy cassette, red, yellow, green, blue buttons. Talk and play. So that you can see it. I'm gonna and you'll have to give me just a moment. I'm going through here to see if they have it. Alvin and the Chipmunks in concert. That was it. So, talk and play. Alvin and the Chipmunks in concert. Okay, it's on YouTube. You can hear the whole thing. And there it is. This top one, obviously, not whatever that is. Oh, that's right. And then there's the Chipettes and the little alien. I remember that. Can't remember why there was a little alien. The Chipmunks sing the Beatles. Dang, nice. That's right, because they crash land in. And so here, I want to, like, make it big.
What are you making big?
I just wanted to make that image large, just so that people could see the buttons. And like the pages would have buttons, and then you could press one of them. Anyway.
I am going to take a little screenshot to post on Discord.
Thank you.
Because I don't. Are you thinking someone else?
No, I was thinking you. Thank you for doing that. For the screenshot.
I am doing something totally different.
Oh, you're doing something totally different? All right.
And so I don't know what you're thanking me for. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
Because I was looking up the song and landed on the Monkopedia.
Ah, yeah.
The Chipmunk fandom page. And this is the font that I want to find now. It was apparently created by a fan specifically for this fandom page. And it's called Totally Nuts. And I absolutely want it because I need that as the highlight font of my Okoki grammar document.
Oh, wow. Cinewin posted something that you're going to want to take a look at, too. Oh, look at those little acorns. Oh, that's a great font. Anyway. Oh, this is just some good foxes right there. I'm going to send that to you. There was one book, a part of the talk and play, that was made specifically for it that I think was brilliant and really added something special. Many of you may be familiar with the Sesame Street book. There's a monster at the end of the book. Yes. About Grover, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Jonathan was reminiscing about the time he fell asleep in the stream.
Yeah.
Go on. Yes.
Not that I remember. But, so yeah, the monster at the end of the book. Great book. Great book. It's about Grover pleading with you, the reader, not to turn the page because the title of the book is There's a Monster at the End of the Book. And he's like, well, don't turn the page. I don't want to see the monster at the end of the book. I'm scared. And he keeps trying to he builds like a wall. You turn the page and the wall is busted. And then like in the second to last page, like he finally gives up. He says, fine, go ahead and turn the page. You turn the page and the monster at the end of the book is Grover, who is, of course, the monster at the end of the book. And then it ends with him saying, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, so for the talk and play, they did something that's kind of similar in theme. Absolutely brilliant. It was called Don't Push the Red Button. So like I said, on this thing there's a red, yellow, blue, and green button. And Grover decided that for whatever reason, you should not push the red button because he thought the red button was bad luck. He didn't want you to press it. And it was fantastic. So he comes up with options and he says, go ahead and if you want to do this, press, green, yellow, or blue or whatever. Just don't push the red button. Naturally, of course, you want to push the red button. And so then you press it. He's like, no, you didn't. You pushed the red button. It was so good. And it just keeps going like that. He tries to like paint over the button and to do things like that. Fantastic use of the medium. And that one is a good one. And it's probably on YouTube if that Alvin the Chipmunks one was on YouTube. So you can give it a listen. Anyway. Mirror on the final page. That Pat the Bunny mirror doesn't work very well. And neither does the princess. The Meridian had a very small board book. Like if I was a princess in a magic garden, then, or if I was, and I had a unicorn, and it's like, I would meet another princess like you. And you open it up, and there's a mirror, but it's like you can't really see anything. It's all hazy.
I mean, that's because it's really a stronger sheet of aluminum foil there.
That's right, Magpie. You learned something. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm going through. That's the R, that's the H. I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do keet to land. Gonna go ahead and not bold that.
Can't believe that font is not widely available.
I can't either. I think that's the only, yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's a weird one. Better put that one in. But
Yeah, a grim fairy tale retelling of monster at the end of the book would be there's a monster at the end of the book who eats you because they told you not to read it. And you did. So you're going to get eaten.
Yep. Okay, clarification. So we've got him that becomes dolchim. Both clickification and tone shift. And then this one, okay, this one is weird. I kind of want to open up Lexergy and just show everybody. It was in bold. Right. Maybe it was that? Yeah. Oh. It's wrong in the poll. That's why it's so weird.
Which one?
So this one that everybody saw that was like super irregular, so we have bod and becomes dong bod.
Okay.
That's wrong. That's supposed to be bod. So the angma is supposed to be there. So
Okay.
it's not irregular at all. So never mind. In fact the only irregular thing about it is that we don't do the full domeng bod. We get rid of
it reduces.
Yeah. So, all right. Never mind. Let's see what else we got. Not that one. Those. Yeah, something needs to be said about those. All right, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Suona. What does that say to you? Suona.
To rest.
To rest. And then yeah. All right. Address below. Okay, that's gonna be tuna for, and we do have clarification. We have tone shift. Suna do Yep. Okay. What else have we got? So I guess B, D, and G are going to be regular. Just make sure. Yeah, B, D, and G are going to be regular. There is no P. We handled T and K and H, and that kind of takes care of the initial glottal stop. And then there's the R. How about M, N, and Engma? I think those are regular.
Ooh. My tummy just growled.
M, N, and Engma are regular.
What about that sound? Is it regular? Okay, we did glottal. We did nasals. We did the R. Did we did the affricates? Or we did an affricate. I'm assuming they do.
We did two of the affricates.
Wait, did you do the voiced affricate?
No, I didn't. Let me try that.
Does that do anything interesting? And then do the voice stops do anything interesting?
No, I did the voice stops. They're fine.
Okay.
No, the DZ is also regular. So how, now it's just a matter of,
And then do one where it's like, and this is the expected form, all things considered. So just pull one of those regular ones out and say,
oh yeah, Oza.
no changes.
Oza is to toss. But I don't remember what the protoform up to toss is. Can you toss me that protoform?
Yeah.
I think it might be UZA. Do we have a Z? Do we have a proto-Z?
U, and then it's in DZA. So it's the prenasalized affricate.
Okay. The only thing that I want to kind of mess around with is seeing the if you increase the number of syllables. Let's see. Nukta. No change there. Now let's try with the... No change there. I think we're cautiously okay.
Yeah, I'm laughing at Carl.
No.
I need $1.
Wait, let me try this. Okay. And now let me try this.
Oh, Jonathan had to away. Too late to say goodbye, I'm sure, but goodbye.
Hashtag Gonathan.
It's sad when that happens.
Okay. I think... I guess let's do another one that... another regular one that doesn't have the N. So... the bowed one might be good, actually. Oh, it doesn't mean anything.
What?
You to wrap.
Do you want to make a meaning for bode?
You know what? Let's do it just so that it's not just hanging out in the pole and we forget that it's something off about it.
All right. And it's going to mean to stand or to stand up.
We don't have that already?
I don't think so. And one of the reasons for that is that's sort of a hefty root, but like for these bats, standing was originally a hefty thing.
True.
Bond. That's the sound they made every time.
Somebody turn that into a ringtone. Okay, and then I'm also going to let you decide what you like better, because it can...
Do you want me to fix all these protoforms so they're actually marked? Because like all the stops would be adjective.
Oh, yeah, that would be lovely. But do you want the protoform for stand to be mbund or mband? They both show up the same way.
I like ooh.
Ooh, got it.
I think that matches more closely the sound I make every time I try to stand up. Got the old lady
All right.
standing noises.
And then to make this super clear that there's nothing going on with these, do that. All right. All right. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to do one more thing. I know that somebody's going to hate it, but I'm going to do one more thing. Deep. Boop. Here we go. Okay. Nice.
Oh, that's what you changed.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these away before I eat too many of them. Delightful little coffee beans. All right. Well, that I feel wraps up that verb section. We had decided on a negation strategy. And so that's in a state where, it's ready to move forward with it when we're ready to put larger units together to do examples.
Did we get sidetracked with this?
We did.
So what was the negation strategy?
Well, it's there. It's to blow. Which we have not created. And so it's going to be some verb meaning to blow, and that gets turned into
An auxiliary.
a negative verb auxiliary, so a negating auxiliary, followed by the core argument, and then an infinitive clause to, finish out what's needed.
Okay.
The main verb stuff. We had...
Those are delicious.
Yes, they are. We had talked about there actually being a semantic difference in whether the core argument that occurs with this negation auxiliary was agentive or patientive. Well, whether the core argument,
Right.
sorry, is the same agent as the infinitive clause, or if it's agentive or, stimulus, and then the agent of the main clause is then non-core in the clause, I guess, in the infinitive clause. Because it's basically like I'm choosing to not do this versus I'm not doing it because it's like not even possible.
And so that would be the difference between passive and not passive, right?
Yeah, basically. And so I guess at that point, then the infinitive clause could also be. Would it be marked for passive, or would
It would
it be?
have to be. It would have to be. Otherwise, you couldn't negate a passive. So let's think. The apple was eaten. And we have also the bat ate the apple. And so that we have the bat blew away eating the apple, and the bat was blown from eating the apple.
Right.
And so it would have to be the apple blew away being eaten. The apple was blown away from being eaten.
Okay.
And so that means that you would have to have.
And then a reintroduction of.
Okay. Okay. So it's just infinitive and then you just add that, and then you have your infinitive and passive infinitive, or you have to do some sort of participial construction. But we do something totally different for passive participles. And we had intended for our participles to be adjectival, so they're participles, not gerunds. And so, gosh, there's really just one of two things that we can do. Option one, regular and passive infinitives. Bare form is an infinitive. Bare form plus passive prefix is passive infinitive. And then you know what? I'm going to say there's three things. 1A, 1B, simplex, complex. New infinitive ending. Add passive prefix to get passive infinitive. Or option two, regular and passive gerunds. Use noun class suffixes with participle roots, that is, strip off adjective endings. The result for two would be very similar to English in that a participle and a gerund will look the same. They always look the same in English. They'll look same some of the time in this one because the adjective endings are more regular than the noun endings.
Right.
And so, like, okay, there's adjectives. Because the adjective endings, it's either ra or a, or hie or ie. The noun endings will change depending on what they're added to. So, I mean, we'll have to choose one of the original 4 classes. But even if we choose the raw class, for example, it'll be raw, but sometimes it'll be la. And this will contrast with the other one because the consonant will always be there. It's potentially interesting. Okay. I am satisfied with making this our poll.
I like that. And are you satisfied to the point where you know that we're going to be happy?
I'm saying it on camera. I like all 3 of these options.
Excellent. David,
I'm not disappointed by any of them.
here's what we should do right now.
Okay.
We should come up with a form for tableau so you can actually give examples in the poll. Because everything else is ready. We've got passive form. We've got the passive prefix. We've got verbs for examples.
We wouldn't have this.
We wouldn't have that, but given the grander scope of things, if you're able to actually, like, you know, give it, we need a source for tableau anyway. Are you just not wanting?
Oh, it's just a variable thing where it's like, well, what if we want to change the form of tableau when we see which one wins? Because we like it better. But, oh, wait, no, it doesn't matter because this is about the other part of it. No, we need, no,
this is like, this is going to be at the beginning.
Yeah, right. Okay. I got it. I'm here with you. That's a good one, Patrick. That's a good one. By the way, so Aaron just said something. I'm sorry. This is about evidently an essay. He's written less than ever a 1,500-word essay due. Yeah.
And so
He said, but Patrick said, my girlfriend is going through the complete essay now to check things like sentence structure and typos and whether I've properly communicated my point. One of those things is not like the other. Sure hope you've communicated the point.
I hope so too. And hope that goes well for you, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to blow.
If we do something that begins with a glottal, like ha, for example.
We could take it back. We could make that to blow. I like it.
Kind of like it too. Yeah, I kind of like it too. All right, let's do that. We'll need something else to replace breathe there. What about he?
Go for it.
All right. Just make sure. He, and then Dunier. All
Wait.
right.
Wait.
Doc utilizes a negative auxiliary yeah.
So both squeak and now to breathe demonstrate something we didn't remark on, which is the vowel change. It's not just the tone that's changing. We've gone from long E to diphthong ye. And we did that in both examples where we had ha, which had a tone change, but not a vowel change.
Yeah, that vowel change is regular though.
Okay.
If anything, I would like those vowels to be different. That was why I liked ha. But if it was like oo, for example, if it was hu, then it would be dunuo.
I mean, we can make to breathe do who.
No. We need another. We need another CV verb. Where was I writing up negation? Okay. First, what follows is the subject of the sentence in the unmarked lowercase.
Okay, I have an idea when you're ready.
Sentence continues with an infinitive, either active or passive, because the result of this is we are going to have an active and passive infinitive. We just don't know what they're going to look like exactly. Sentence continues with an infinitive, either active or passive, and is followed by the rest of the sentence normally. Though perhaps without the lot of marker. I'm going to put that in question, and then we'll get to it later. And then if the negative auxiliary is itself passivized, the sense of negation changes from volitional negation to what, accidental negation? Incidental negation?
Incidental I like, because it's sort of like it's out of your control, but that may not make it accidental. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like it to choose one as the generic, you would actually use that one as the more generic negation. Or would you use the other one and say more often than not it's you choose not to do something?
It's
Interesting.
I don't think either of them is basic. It's really just a matter of
Of the situation at
Yeah.
hand.
The subject still follows the verb or the negative auxiliary in the unmarked core case. And this is where, again, we'll need to revisit this, but then the infinitive to follow is preceded by, just in case it needs to be, needs an ablative or something. So I'm going to mark these things in red because we need to revisit them once we actually make the decision. Okay.
Let's go back to the chart.
All right.
Let's replace to breathe, but we'll note to breathe somewhere in the document so that way we remember.
Mm-hmm.
And change it to, instead of an H, make it a glottal stop, A, and have that mean to hit, because you know it's the sound you make when you're hit by something. Acorn falls on your head and you go, ah!
That's really cute.
And those to hit.
Thank you.
And then I think we just have a list somewhere. Here we go. Okay, and now to breathe is on a list of larger verbs that we have.
Right on.
So it's still there.
Aaron says that according to his girlfriend, he uses the word from too much. I've never heard that being a thing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think that's a thing. Anyway, let's see. From this point, we will move ourselves away from what we have been doing,
From which
we can start to see the trees from the forest, from the table below from. Is below from still a word?
obviously.
Okay.
Some people do spell it UM at the end now. Just
All right, we're going to have our first table.
how is this our first table? We just had one up above.
No, our first inflection table.
Oh, okay.
How do I make it so that this table is actually the size that like it gets indented or whatever? Like, I guess I can do this and then move it over, but it's weird, isn't it?
Oh, I wonder here. Just I can. I think you have to be off it for me to try something to edit it.
Go for it.
I'm curious because, like, I know we can pull up the ruler and drag it over, but like, I am curious to know if we can indent. Okay, that doesn't help. Offset.
I love these little
Table
pink
inset.
little corners on the sides there. Look at that. Delightful. Delightful.
Fun. I didn't know that's what that meant. I am learning things.
You tried the option biggerize?
No, but I am still learning things. Okay. Let's go to this one. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna.
There's no such thing as bad from usage. It's not a thing, Aaron. That's the point. It's not a thing. It's a preposition. Get out of here with that.
Like, other than showing the ruler. Oops.
Oh, the ruler. Why don't we have the ruler?
And oh my God, I need the table, but I just want the table. Now, there we go.
Where are all the rulers anyway? Did they get rid of rulers?
Now do Shift Command R.
Well, it's not in the top though. Like, so even if I do that, like, that didn't do anything.
You don't see the ruler? Like, I'm staring at a ruler at the top of my screen.
No, I did Shift Command R and nothing happened at all. It used to be just a thing on view here. Show ruler. There we go. Show ruler and show layout. That's what I've been missing the whole time. Look at that. Look what they took from me.
So I was actually wondering the same thing, Aaron, if there's some sort of way that in your dialect you would use from. And I'm trying to figure out what it would be similar to in our dialect, but where you just end up using that as like a generic preposition where it could be more specific. And so as you're reading, it's like I'm hitting a from everywhere, where it could be like in here, and here it could be out, or here it could be something else.
Perhaps you're using the correct different from construction that most of us use, as opposed to the incorrect different to that many of you British use.
And Magpie is absolutely right. Any word can get overly redundant through too much repetition. So
You got frommed.
Okay, so we're gonna. I put it in at like 0.5. I don't know where you wanted.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh,
Okay.
lovely, lovely. Oh, thank you so. Thank you so. That's just delightful. Okay. All right, here we go. So we need. Oh, I went too far. All right. Infinitive, imperfective, perfective, prospective, habitual. Infinitive, imperfective,
Perspective.
prospective,
Oh wait, you got perfective, right?
habitual, and perfective.
Do you want me to do something else that may help you?
I always I would love for you to do this.
Interesting. There we go. Okay. What is this? This is 12. Okay. Why is it freeform and not table style? I think because this document.
By the way, I'm going to put both of the infinitives in red because obviously this is yet to be decided. So,
Magpie. LTS has come so far from where it started. Jesse can do something to the formatting, and David likes it. Isn't this true? No, but like I think because this document was created, it's like based on something that was created forever ago. Like the table cells aren't actually in table style, so I would have to actually create that style instead of it just naturally being there from having created a table. I was going to update the table style so that it was always the size you wanted, but everything's in freeform.
huh.
And so I would have to do a lot more work than just what I was going to do. But I did make it size 12 for you.
This is an epiphenomenon of me never understanding, appreciating, or using styles in pages. And really it's only just knowing you and seeing how you use things have I seen that, oh, this is actually a thing and you can use it. You were
It's
also
actually helpful.
You were also the one that told me about the under layer for Keynote, which I also wasn't aware of. that was what was crucial for helping me make conlang conflict work.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Be fun to do another one of those. Have to come up with another poll. I also wanted to share the results of that poll, but I just too many things.
It could be a whole fiat lingua.
Mm. Yeah, I was thinking that. Okay, imperfective. How do we make the imperfective?
The imperfective, David, is created by adding I prenasalized B, which means to swoop, to a verb's participle form.
Okay.
And so that's the adjective participle form.
I wonder.
The participle comes together earlier than the prefix, and so the prefix is very stable. It's either falling tone E or falling tone E followed by a W.
Okay, because okay, yeah, okay. What's the participle for this? HA. Obviously, there's going to be two participles.
What would the generic V final is going to be ha-hie, and night class will be hara.
Okay. And they should be fairly regular, right?
Yeah, because these are the night and day class endings that are like generically attached to create adjectives, and so they are very stable.
Yeah. We might.
They're not like the noun ones, which interact with the root and become a little unstable.
Given that this is imperfective, we might give these a little revisit and see if they need to be lenited, because they're
Okay.
pretty chunky. Ehahie and ehara. Well, actually, they speak pretty quickly, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is very interesting to me. That I find that sometimes you see a form on a piece of paper or on a screen, and it can be like, oh my God, that's way too big. But then, like, if you actually hear it and speak it, it no longer feels big. I mean, Finnish does that to me all the time, where it's like you hear it and it goes really fast, but like you see it on paper and it's like, that's the biggest word I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But it clips at a good rate. And so anyway, I think that's the same thing we're seeing here.
Can you share with me what the passive participles would be for this word? Because the imperfective, like, passive is going to be a little different. It's not going to actually take the prefix. It's going to take the participle.
Ha is V final, and so it is going to be, oh goodness, okay. Ha ga hie. So high tone, a,
Mm-hmm.
G, falling tone A, and then HIE, low tone. That's day class.
Okay. And then
Night class
Gara.
is a, gara. Falling tone followed by low tone. Gara.
follow. Follow. Low tone. I'm sorry. Falling tone. That's what I meant to say.
Followed by low tone. So
Yeah.
follow.
So, ha ga hie versus ha gara.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
No,
cool.
wait. No, ga is falling tone in both.
Oh, it's falling tone in both.
Yeah.
Okay.
High, falling, low.
Ha ga hie. Ha gara.
'Cause
Okay.
that comes from
Good.
to bounce.
Got it. Okay. All right. Prospective. I see what time it is.
Perspective is going to come from nga. Ingma a glottal stop.
Okay.
It is older. It's put into lexergy as one phonological unit with the root form. In general, it's going to be nga, low tone, followed by high tone.
Got it, got it, got it. So this is going to be ngaha. And passive.
Because it's not a participle. Passive comes from K-A glottal stop.
Yeah, and I feel like the perspective is going to be in front of that, right?
It is roughly the same age as the perspective. The perspective is probably older. And so I think it goes in as one phonological unit. Yeah, it follows the route of the perspective. It's roughly the same age. And I think that's why we have so many potential different onsets.
Well, is it flap to bounce or bounce to flap?
It's... What?
I'm talking about the order of the prefixes. Is it flap to bounce or bounce to flap?
These aren't shown together. You're asking put them together,
Absolutely.
not just passive.
No.
I thought we were just passivizing.
Mm-mm.
We're doing passive progressive.
Yes.
Okay.
Or perspective, yeah.
Right, perspective. I mean, I think then like semantically, it seems to make sense that it would be, I flap to bounce this.
Okay.
Like that's how it's coming together in my head. Like I'm about to do this.
Nagaha. All right. Habitual should be duna, right?
Habitual is the one we just wrote up a bunch of things. So yeah.
And then in front of a K, that's going to be a click, isn't it?
With the dune,
Yeah.
yes. So it'll be do and then the X click, right?
Yep. Dongaha. And then for the final piece of the puzzle, it's how they come together. And that is, because that's already done, and so it's just key in front of the front of it.
Yes.
Oh, wait. That's low tone. Duna. Giduna. And Gidon haha. Gidon haha. Gidon haha. Okay. That's at least where we're starting from. Next week, we're going to figure out the infinitives. Once the infinitives are done, we may take a look at these and say maybe those are a little chunky for negation. Don't know. We'll find out. But I think that we can delete this because all that information is up here.
Oh, that, yeah. At first I thought you were pointing at the table and I was like, babe.
Nah. All right. Thank Lang very much for time. Studio. Happy Hot Arch to everybody.
And we'll see you when Hot Arch is over because I think it's supposed to end before next Thursday. So.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. It's a little bit too spicy outside, I think.
Yeah. Agreed. It does look pretty though.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
thank
Jay.
you all for being here.
By the way, the ruler looks terrible with the fade.
Oh,
above
I
it.
hate it. I hate it.
but
I'm
it's
taking it off, in fact.
I use it all the time. So I just got to keep it. Oh, stay grammar, everybody. We loves ya. And we will see you next week, right? There's nothing wrong with next week. Yeah? Week.
There we go.
Yeah.
Next week should be normal.
This was just the last scheduled one I had. That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. See you, everybody. I'll schedule